All right, let's talk about lease extensions. And I totally understand if you've skipped ahead to this lesson. A lease extension can be a very valuable thing to use because one of the biggest parts of this course is being patient, contacting as many dealers as possible and never being in a situation where you have to get a car tomorrow or next week or, at any given point. You want to have enough time to adequately shop, to not be forced into a situation. So if you can and your lease is almost up, you might want to find out about extending your lease a bit so you can give yourself some breathing room and keep shopping. Also, too, with the market where it's at right now in January of 2023, a 3 to 6 month extension will let you, watch the market as the months progress, and you don't have to take a deal right now. You may find a better deal 3 to 6 months from now, and you'll be so good at contacting dealers by then because once a month or so you can send some emails out, see where the prices are at, and be like, nope, I'm just going to wait and we'll check again later. So that's how you can use this course. That is to check the market over time, reach out to dealers periodically to see if deals are getting better. And a lease extension can be your lifeline to that extra time if your lease is about to run out. So, first thing, just like everything else we do in this course, call the leasing company to request the lease extension. So they want to keep you as a customer, so I'm sure most of them will offer some form of lease extension. They're trying to retain your business and hope that you stay with them into the next vehicle. So giving you more time to keep shopping makes sense, because if they say no and then they force you into something, they may force you right out of, out of doing business with them. So it makes sense for them to do lease extensions. So it allows you to keep shopping and you're not forced to make a decision. So that's great. Another thing to know is that when you extend the lease, the payment stays the same and it continues to pay down the residual value. So every month as you make your payment, your payoff quote just keeps getting lower and lower, and that depreciation just keeps on down on its same trajectory, and you'll have a new residual value at the end of the lease extension. You get additional mileage. So whatever mileage you had, like if you had 12,000 miles per year on your lease agreement, then you would continue on with 12,000 miles per year on the extension. And that would be, 1,000 miles per month. So every month you extend, you get an extra 1,000 miles. They should be month to month. So that means you can cancel early when you find a new car. So if you ask for a 6 month extension and 3 months into it, a deal presents itself, you can hop on the good deal and cancel your lease extension early. So that should be good. And also, too, what I was talking about with the residual value going down continually, you can keep checking your equity position. So when the lease extension does come up or you do find a new vehicle, your payoff, the cost of your car is just going to be that much lower. So if it does still have some value, you can use as trade. It should help with that. All right. There are, of course, some things to know. I guess downsides to extending your lease, just things to be aware of. First off is the bumper to bumper warranty can expire on the original maturity date. So if you have a 3 year lease and you're extending beyond 3 years, if that manufacturer's bumper to bumper warranty ends at 3 years, then you will not be covered under warranty during the extension. So obviously that's one of the big reasons why we lease is to be under warranty. So it's really just, up to you. Is that a risk you're worth taking to keep the car and keep the payment you're used to and wait for the market to get better to find a better deal? But just be aware, it is no longer covered under its bumper to bumper warranty. Now, the powertrain warranties are longer, so you can check the details on that, but usually that's like, 5, 6, 7 years. So the powertrain warranty should still be in place, but the bumper to bumper will most likely expire. But there are companies that have, 48-month bumper to bumper warranty. So just check with yours and see what it is. But a lot of them are 36 months. Now, a downside with the same payment. Now, in the current market, that's great, right? Because if you're forced into a new car right now, and you can only find a payment that's higher than what you're used to, then the same payment is actually a positive, and we talked about that before. But there is some things that can make the same payment seem a little unfair, and that's when things are built into the payment. So we talked about earlier in this course about capitalized cost. So when you build in like a service and maintenance package into your monthly payment, and let's say it's $40 a month or $50 a month, and you just been able to go to the dealership whenever you want and get oil changes and service, the dealership is paid up front for that at the beginning of the lease, and then it gets added to your payment, and you're paying the leasing company back for what's already been paid in full to the dealership. So when you finish all 36 of your payments and you go into a lease extension period, your payment has that service package built into it. The leasing company doesn't reduce your payment, but none of that money goes to the dealership anymore. They're not getting any money past what they got at the very beginning. You've paid all that back, and now you're paying the same payment with a service package built in, and you don't have any service for free. So if you went to the dealership, they would be like, no, yours ran out. whenever your lease is matured, if you need to get an oil change from us, you got to pay for it. So just be aware, anything built into your payment will run out and you no longer get that service. So you have to pay it out of pocket going forward. So that can definitely be a downside. And there's a similar situation when it comes to upfront sales tax. So sometimes in a lot of states, the sales tax is also capitalized into the cost of the lease payment. The state is paid in full upfront for the entire 3 years of taxes. And then you're paying the leasing company back over the course of the contract. So when you get to an extension period, and you go, to that first extension payment, none of that payment is going to be sent to the state for tax. So they'll charge you an additional upfront sales tax on top of a payment that already seems to have tax included in it. And that can be, a lot of people get unhappy about that. It's usually like you say, I want 6 months, and you got to pay like a one-time payment for the 6 months of tax, or if you do a year, for 12 months or however long you extend. And then you keep paying the same payment with that extra tax bill on top of it. And then if you do find a car early, let's say 3 months into that 6-month extension, you find a new car and you decide to cancel your extension, they won't make you keep making the payments, but the taxes you paid up front for the 6 months prior that you already paid for, you don't get a refund. So it's like non-refundable tax usually. So those are just a few things to be aware of. I still think even with that, especially in the current market, giving yourself the ability to keep shopping, not be forced into a deal, continue to contact as many dealers as possible, use the templates in this guide to keep shopping smart and just waiting for the market to come to a place in a payment that you can actually be happy about and feel comfortable with and decide it's time to get your new car. I think an extension is a great way to go. So if you need it, call your leasing company, see what they offer, and I will see you in the next lesson.